So I can't believe I'm going to say this as a realtor, but you guys have to listen to this real estate news coming for 2023. Stay tuned. What's going on, my YouTube friends? This is Jerry Abbott, your favorite Las Vegas realtor. Hey guys, I'm filming this video on the very last day of 2022. It is December 31st, so I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Before we dive into the video, guys, a couple of quick things. Number one, if this is your first time on the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about the Las Vegas real estate market, then definitely subscribe down below. Number two, make sure to give me a thumbs up like, guys. That would really help the channel out. And number three, if you guys are thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, I've got your back. I'm a local realtor here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. Let's dive into the video. All right, guys, so as we wrap up 2022, it has been an absolute roller coaster year for real estate. The first half of this year was sizzling hot. Prices were skyrocketing. The Fed finally started to raise interest rates over the course of the summer, and boy, did they really turn things around. You can see her on screen. There's a lot of fear coming into 2023 in terms of a recession, in terms of the real estate market. Even specifically here in Las Vegas, they're not predicting a good real estate market. So let's dive into a little bit more detail specifically in the Las Vegas real estate market and what I think is going to happen in 2023.
All right, guys, what I want to do now is I want to show you the first of several on-screen graphics talking about some of the data points here related to Las Vegas real estate. So let's take a look at this first graph. Now you can see obviously at the top, this is the average median home price through the course of 2022. So back at the beginning of the year, about a year ago, we were right at about $435,000. And then you can see that it just skyrocketed all the way up through the first half of the year. We hit a peak in May of $482,000. Now this is right about the time when the Fed started to raise interest rates. Then look what happens. We start going on a massive downward cycle here, keep going down all the way now right to the end of November, December, right here. We're hovering right at about $430,000 as we end the year. So you can see obviously the downturn. That's why I was saying to you before, this has been a roller coaster year. We started going way up, the Fed raised rates, and now we came all the way down. So let's take a look at the inventory in relation to this graphic here so you can understand what's going on with the inventory in relation to the pricing. All right, so this is the current inventory chart in Las Vegas for real estate. So let's take a look over here on the left side of the graph. You can see right there, if you can't see it, that number right there is about 5,500. That means we had about 5,500 homes for sale at the start of the year. Then inventory started to really go down here into the springtime. This is when we really had that price appreciation spike because as inventory went down and the demand was so high, prices really started to go up right around this point. Then inventory started to spike because the Fed had raised interest rates. So then it went all the way up here to about 11,000 units for sale. And now we're coming back down to about 9,000 to 10,000 units for sale. So you can see that there's a direct correlation between the inventory levels and the pricing levels. All right, guys, I want you to take a look at this chart. This is the price appreciation chart in Las Vegas by zip code in terms of a price range of $400,000 up to about $750,000. That's really the sweet spot in terms of an average price. But if you take a look at some of these numbers here, I don't know if you can see them too well on screen. Some of these areas have been neutral. Some of them have gone up as much as 15 to 20 to 25%. And some of them have gone down by 5, 10, or 15%. So you kind of have a little bit of a smorgasbord depending on the zip code that you live in Las Vegas. But overall, it's really been not that bad. It's been kind of a neutral year. Some places are higher, some places are lower. So it really just kind of balances out. It's really been pretty neutral. So I wanted you guys to at least see what the price appreciation is. If you want to take a little bit of an up close look here, you can just pause the video and then maybe blow up the screen a little bit because we have had some pretty good spots here where it's been decent price appreciation after all of the doom and gloom that the media keeps talking about. All right, guys, let's shift gears here a little bit. Now, I want you to take a look at this graphic here on screen. This is an email that I got from a new home builder. Now, I did this a couple of weeks ago in a different video that got a lot of attention. And the reason why is the home builders now in 2023 coming into this year, they are definitely facing some serious headwinds. They have standing inventory. There's a lot of good deals going on with new home builders. I want you to take a look over here on the right. I'm not going to read off all of these if you can't see them on screen. These are the discounted prices now from some of these home builders. This price right here started at $1.76 million. It's now down to $1.5 million. So they're basically reducing this home about $260,000. But not only that, they're giving you $44,000 towards closing cost credits. The home right underneath it, almost $2 million. They've reduced it $378,000, now down to $1.59 million. The one underneath that, 1.74 million. They've reduced that 122,000. It's now down to 1.6. And the list just goes on, and they're giving about $40,000 to $45,000 in closing cost credits. So you can see a lot of these builders, they're facing some headwinds, and that's why these reductions are going on. And that's what's going to lead me into the back half of this video to tell you guys why I think some good deals are there to be had coming into 2023. All right, guys, take a look at this graphic. Now, this one piggybacks off the last graphic. This is the same home builder that's now showing you what they're doing for their lot premiums in terms of the price reductions. So take a look at them. You can see the highlighted home sites here in yellow, and then right across you can see $25,000 just for the lot premium is now down to zero. The ones a little bit further down on the list here, $150,000 lot premiums, now down to $75,000. So you can see the builders have been greedy during this time, and now they no longer can be. They're doing a lot more price reductions on lot premiums, which they should have never been doing in the first place. That's why I think going into 2023, these are probably going to go down even more, as well as the prices. This has definitely now become a buyer's market. All right, guys, take a look at this graphic. Now, this is interesting. This is the 2023 housing price forecast from most of the major banks and a lot of the big website companies. So if you take a look at the top, starting at the top, this is the most pessimistic part of the chart. So you see minus 20%, minus 10%, minus 8%, minus 10% by some of the big players here, including Wells Fargo and even Fannie Mae thinks it's going to go negative in the year 2023. Then you see down at the bottom half where it's a little bit neutral to a little bit more positive when you get to Zillow and you get down to Realtor.com, which thinks it's going to be about plus 5% on the year. Now, again, everyone's got a different forecast model, but I just thought you guys would like to see how this forecast model looks, and that most of them, at the very best, is maybe a 5% uptick in prices this year. I personally don't think that's at all going to happen. I think we're going to be on the negative side. So I'm leaning towards the top half here where some of these forecasts are. But I wanted you guys to at least see what some of the major banks and the big real estate companies online are showing for a forecast in 2023. So I wanted you guys to take a quick look at least at the headline here of this article. It was a really interesting read. I'm just going to give you a couple of highlighted points here to talk about why this real estate market is definitely kind of tricky right now. You can see that mortgage rates have come down for 5 straight weeks, but a Wharton professor is expecting a further slide in prices. So what he's thinking is prices are still too overinflated. They have to come down, even though mortgage rates are coming down a little bit, and that usually makes more buyer demand come into the market, which then brings prices back up. It's still a very overinflated market and prices need to come down a little bit. I agree with this professor. I'm going to show you in the next couple of clips why I think 2023 is going to be an interesting year. I think the first half of the year certainly is going to be interesting and better for buyers. The back half, not so much. So let's dive into that right now.
All right, guys, what I want to do now is I want to reveal to you what my prediction is for real estate going into 2023. I'm going to break it down into 3 parts. So let's get into the first part right now. So the first of my 3-part prediction is this, guys. Number 1, in the year 2023 coming up for real estate, we are not going to crash 30 or 50% or more. A lot of people are predicting this. A lot of people have a lot of wishful thinking. You can see here some of the comments on screen from some of my previous YouTube videos. A lot of people are telling me that the market is going to tank and that we're going to crash or we should be 50% lower. That's not going to happen, guys. There is no evidence to suggest that. We're still in a hyperinflated world. The Fed is probably going to level out on interest rates. I do not see that happening. I see a little bit more downside coming into the first half of this year, but definitely not crashing 30 or 50% in the year 2023. All right, so the second part of my 3-part prediction for real estate going into 2023 is this, guys. I think the first half of 2023 are going to be the best deals to buy a home, especially here in Las Vegas. So my suggestion is I would wait a couple of months coming into this year because I think we're going to have a little bit more of a lag from what happened with interest rates, and there's going to be a lot of good deals. There's going to be more price reductions coming, and the sellers that are selling right now, they really should not be selling because if they have low interest rates right now, they certainly don't want to sell and then buy a new home and have a higher interest rate. So those sellers that are selling right now are going to give you some pretty good deals coming into this market, plus the fact you already saw what's happening with the new builders. So the first half of this year, I think, is going to be a really good time to buy real estate. That's going to be your best buying opportunity for this year coming up. So my third and final part of my real estate prediction for 2023 is this, guys. I think the back half of this year, meaning from this summertime into the holiday stretch, we're not going to have as many good deals. I think by the time we get to this summer coming up, rates are going to stabilize. I actually think rates are going to go down. It's going to bring in a lot more buyer demand. I think the back half of this year is not going to have nearly as many good deals if you're looking to buy a home as the first half of this year. All right, guys, so before we wrap up the video, I just want to say this comment, which I know seems a little bit weird coming from a realtor, but I think you guys are going to really appreciate this. There's an old expression in real estate where they say, You don't wait to buy real estate. You buy real estate and wait, meaning there's no perfect opportunity or perfect timing that you're going to find the bottom of the market. So you want to buy and then just hold on to property long term, because long term, you're going to end up making a lot of money on property. That's just the way it's always been. But what I'm thinking about during this part coming into the first part of 2023 is this. I actually do think you should wait. You should not buy right this second. I think you should wait at least into the first quarter coming into 2023, because I think the deals are going to be better. There is that opportunity right now to just sit in this little window to see a little bit more downside before you think about buying a home, especially here in Las Vegas. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And just remember, guys, if you're thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, I've got your back. I'm a local realtor here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. I'll see you guys in the next video.